Hey everybody, the Swami's back after, let's be honest, another disappointing week, finishing 2-3. But hey, the Ravens lost. That's all the Swami cares about. Doesn't matter, anything else. I would take the loss of the dollars in Vegas over seeing a Ravens defeat. So I'm sure nobody counted on that loss coming from the Patriots against the Ravens. But that was great. Happy to hear it. But unfortunately, it drops the Swami below 500 to 12 wins and 13 losses. We're on NFL Week 11. I just realized I made a mistake on my scroll, but it is NFL Week 11, not Week 10. Had a bunch of games that were promising and had to cut it down to 5. As always, the scroll below is not necessarily what the Swami picked. It's the game itself, but not necessarily the team that he selected. It just tells you the line. So we're going to get right into it. It's again, it was a week that was not difficult to pick out games. There were actually more games than 5 that considered, but we went with the 5 that the Swami felt most strongly against. So the first game we're going to pick is the Patriots -1.5 over the Texans. Why? Very simple. The Texans stink. They just stink. There's nothing more or less to it than that. I will not be caught on that situation picking the Texans again this season. If they play the Jets even, I might go with the Jets. I've had enough of them letting me down, much like the Lions. I think neither of those two teams I will be picking this year. Plus the fact that the Patriots came off that big win. Some people may say, oh yeah, they're gonna be on too much of a high right now, but I tend to doubt that Bill Belichick will allow that to happen. I think the Patriots -1.5 over the Texans is pretty much a gimme, but we shall see, of course, the way things have been going. The Swami's confidence level is not as strong as it was back in the good old days. It's been a brutal season so far, but plenty of time to come out with a winning record. So we'll move on to our second game, which is going to be the Steelers -10 over the Jags. I worry about taking the Steelers with a big margin because although they're 10-0 this year, 9-0 this year, make that, they seem to play down to their opponent and they seem to be playing close games. Like they'll be up 27-9 at the half and they'll win 33-27 or something like that. But with the young quarterback and after seeing the Steelers dismantle Joe Burrow last week, I have to say if they can't dismantle Luton of the Jags, then they don't deserve to be as good as they are right now. The defense was clicking on all cylinders. Roethlisberger is playing like a potential MVP. I think it's going to be quite easy for the Steelers to win this game. I'd have to say by at least 2 touchdowns, if not more than that. And again, if not, shame on them. They've got the big game against the Ravens next week. If they win that game, they clinch the division. I believe they clinch the division because the Ravens will be at, they may be 1 short because the Ravens have 3 losses right now. A loss would make it 4. They lose a tiebreaker to the Steelers, and the Steelers would be 11-0. Okay, so they'd be 1 win or 1 Ravens loss would clinch it. So pretty much it's over if the Ravens don't win. Not that they have much of a chance anyway, but it's a strong possibility that they could at least keep it competitive because they always seem to. So, our next game we're going to go with is the Chargers -10 over the Jets. This is what's going on. I'm thinking to myself, the Jets have to fly across country. The Jets stink, although to be honest, they've kept close a few games. They haven't won a game yet. The Chargers have that kid, Justin Herbert, who's having a really, really solid rookie year. And 10 points sounds like a lot, but again, when you're dealing with a team as bad as the Jets, even though they've been competitive, I know that. They've probably covered the spread. I didn't investigate this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they've covered the spread almost half of their games. I just don't think this is going to be one of them. I think this is going to be a Charger victory handily. And again, as I said, I could see this game 2 touchdowns plus. I think that you're looking at a long day for Sam Darnold and the Jets. Then again, it's been a really long season for Sam Darnold and the Jets. So what's another game? But I think it's pretty certain this game is going to go to the Chargers. and most likely they're going to cover the spread. Now, next we move on to the Packers, who are playing at the Colts. I think the Packers win handily at this one. The Colts, one day the Colts look like the best team in the NFL. The next day they look like the worst team in the NFL. I just have to go with Aaron Rodgers, especially when you're talking about a point or two either way. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Packers are still a really good team. And the Colts are that team that they have a good week, they have a bad week, they have a good week, they have a bad week. I think we have to go with the veteran Aaron Rodgers over the veteran Philip Rivers. And Rivers has put together a pretty solid season. He has nothing to be ashamed of. I wonder where he'll play next year, if it'll be in Indy or somewhere else. But I got to tell you, I think that the Colts are going to have a hard time, but I think it'll be a close game. I don't think we're going to be looking at a 43-13 game. I think we're going to be looking at a 27-23 type of score. But it should be interesting to see how that game goes. But I think the Packers are going to win. No doubt about it. Leaves us to our last game. And our last game of the day, the Browns over the Eagles. I could see the Eagles winning this game. This was one of the tougher ones. They're not good, the Eagles. They're still going to win the division. I still call for them to go 7-8-1 for the division, though 6-9-1 could win this division as bad as they are. I just have a feeling that the Browns are going to have a good game. And one week they have a good game, one week they have a bad game. But I think this time it's going to be a victory for the Browns. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a good game. I don't think the Eagles defense is going to stop him. I think you're looking at a team that is just mediocre, which is the Eagles, playing in a horrendous division. And I think for that reason, I think you're going to find the Browns to win another one. I think the Browns are heading towards a potential playoff spot, which by itself is kind of scary. So, despite a few mechanical errors this time, I apologize for. We have the Patriots minus 1.5 over the Texans. The Steelers are minus 10.5, just so you know. That was another error. I see we've made a couple errors this time. Forgive me. The Chargers minus 10 over the Jets. I think they win that one handily. Packers plus 1.5 over the Colts. I think when you're giving the Packers points against the Colts, I think it's pretty solid for the Packers to win. And lastly, the Browns minus 2.5 over the Eagles. Swami last week 2-3 makes him 12-13. Not good at all. Hopefully this one will turn it around. We need to have a big week. Thank you so much for tuning in to SwamiLee's Sports Picks, week 11, not week 10. Again, another one of the errors that the Swami came up with today. We'll see you next week, hopefully with some positive news. And best of luck to you if you're betting these games. I hope you're winning. Have a great day. Thanks. Appreciate you stopping in and watching. Please like this post and like our, maybe comment on it. Let us know what you think, what your picks are. Have a great day.